Hello everyone, Wise Guy Jesse here, and today I am on Guild Wars 2, and this is my thief character. I believe this is the first time you see him. Um, the small little Zerg guy, but he's full Zerker. So I figured in this video I was going to show the setup I have for him, because I know some people like thief setups and stuff. I do plan on doing little roaming videos with him at some point, and also in this video I was going to show couple of like spots that I go to farm tier 6 stuff. So the first thing is that this is my thief. He's the full Zerker thief. Um, we have I end up having the Imbezalem items, but I just one transmuted them into the sneak thief stuff. And just yesterday, actually, I went off and I had this recipe to make this thing for a really long time. Never really got to the whole collecting stuff and building it. So yesterday, like, I sold a whole bunch of things in the bank and was able to buy all the parts I need for this. So I finally made that. So you can see, like, under here, it's another berserker thing, two berserker weapons. I have one of air and one of force. The force, like I say, is 5% more damage. This has the lightning strike. I know some people like to go around, like, I guess a lot of people actually go around with fire sigil on there, and I don't really like the fire sigil that much. The fire sigil is like the AOE thing. I think it's still a 50% chance of a strike that it happens, but the damage it does is actually much less than the lightning strike. Um, they had I can't really have an example because if you were following or subscribed to me, you'd see that I had a message up yesterday saying that I had a couple hours of recording yesterday, but when I was messing around with the settings with the OBS to see if I could set them to a better looking scale so I'd have better looking quality kind of videos, I ended up leaving out an extra zero in the byte rate, and so my screen was like, literally like 30 pixels was what made up the whole, or 300 pixels made up like the whole screen, or something like that. And so you couldn't see anything, but in that video I actually had me roaming around and I attacked a thief. I had the air sigil on, he had the fire sigil, I had the combat log over here. And when you look through it, my air sigil was doing like 2,000 damage, like extra damage on a hit. That fire sigil was only doing like 1,000 more. So I go air because I kind of like to go off and like find people who are off on their own and single them out. I'm not going into a giant group of people to find them. The fire sigil would be helpful in a bigger group because you could hit more people with the AoE. But since I'm singling people out, why sacrifice damage for AoE if I'm just going against one guy? Also, my other weapon is just a little short bow right now, but you can see I have that air strike or the lightning strike again. And I have bloodless on this. That I do plan on getting bloodless at some point. Is just that I have it up on there because I go off and kill like 25 little like just I don't know creatures off the on the map, and I get extra 250 power, and that comes in handy when it comes to trying to get people real fast. And like over here is just like the trinkets and stuff. These are all berserker down here. These I just kind of like randomly bought. I was looking for berserker stuff, but I didn't really see any that were at like a really cheap, reasonable price. So I got like power, toughness, healing thing right here. The healing was kind of useful for when you need to like retreat, kind of, and heal up. That comes in handy. The power and toughness, or I guess this actually is the berserker stuff to it. But and then this I was working on making the ascended um, shell thing. So there's that. My traits that have set up to it is the 5603. I noticed that this whole setup, some people do switch around and move this to they take one away from here and move it up there, and then depending on what kind of trait you use or what kind of things you use would depend on what you want to do with this. I've seen a lot of people use Panic Strike just because if you're off like on your own trying to take out guys, you don't want them to just be able to run away, so you want to be able to immobilize them, keep them in one spot so you could kind of keep on hitting them. So it comes in handy. I know a few people do use this, but it's not really that useful in my opinion because it's once you've already attacked and are revealed. So I mean, backstab does a whole bunch of damage, and once you've hit them with backstab, you're revealed. So then this just adds 200 power to the next couple attacks you do, kind of thing. I don't find that useful because I'm hoping most of my damage comes from that backstab. Um, they have see this up here. I have the whole bunch of like critical chances and stuff like that. Quickness, that one is very useful. It lets you, like I say, it's the whole quickness thing. I know it comes in handy a whole bunch, and even though there's a 30-second like wait time on it, when you do have that quickness moment, I know it's a whole bunch, especially for like the short bow, because my short bow, the power it does, I get like 2,000 damage a hit, and it shoots every half a second, I think, so I get like 2 shots a second. But when I have that quickness on, I'm shooting like 4 shots a second, and or almost 4 shots, like 3 shots a second kind of thing, and so I'm doing like 6,000 damage every second. If I mean, if it's all hitting critical hits and stuff like that, but my critical hit thing, my notice up here, is pretty high up. If I have like I don't have the foods and all that stuff on right now that I normally would, but I've had this go up to like 64% kind of thing. They have also last one here, Hidden Killer. I have it set to that. I know some people will switch over to Executioner. I just have this because, like I said, I want to be able to do a bunch of damage from a backstab. So it gives me a critical hit chance, and when I hit a critical hit, I hit from, I think for like heavy armored people, I mostly hit about 6,000, and if I go against like something like a glassy elementalist or necro or something, I'll hit them for 10 to 11,000. So that basically just drops them. But if you are kind of I guess if you're wanting to kind of put up a fight like that, if you're not going in and out of invisibility a whole bunch, like if your second weapon's a pistol or something, and there's like a different set you'll want, obviously, but execution would probably go better with the pistol since you're not going in and out of invisibility. And down here, I have like the swiftness on dodge. Movement speed's faster just because normally when I go to a fight, I want to Shadow Refuge before I move in and give me that 50% more movement speed with that Shadow Refuge of, it gives me what, like 16 seconds or something. That makes me start to move in really fast to get behind them. But there is times where I will switch it around for the power of the Errant or Erta, just because with the dodging stuff, every time I dodge, get swiftness, and I'll have the 17 seconds of extra might, and the extra might, I, if you have the up to 3 on there with that region, you could jump 3 times in a row. That gives you 105 extra power, but I mean it's kind of risk taking because now you just wasted all of your endurance and you can't really dodge if someone throws a whole bunch of AoEs at you. Yeah, also I've seen some people would put it up. I've seen some people put them up in this spot for so down here. I don't really do that because I mean some people have it for the toughness and the healing, and I put it because I want more vitality and the boon duration, so that swiftness and might and all that stuff would last a little longer. If you do put it here, you have the what is it, this spot. One of the ones that I've seen a lot of people do was this whole the recover conditions while in still, because this whole thing is about you going in stealth a lot, like increase the stealth skill. So the Shadow Refuge will end up lasting like 20 something seconds, I think, on you, about 20 seconds. And so within that 20 seconds, you have at least 6 conditions taken away if you're still being hit by them. another one I've seen a lot of people use was in there was that Master Deception, which also comes in handy if you're using like Shadow Refuge and the other skill. Can't point that one skill bar from there, but the Shadow Step right here. Those are both deceptive skills. Um, I know some people put those up. There's also this whole thing where sometimes I've seen people put them in here, but I don't really use it that much. It's more for if you put it in there, it's kind of useful for the whole it increases the max initiative, so you're able to go through a whole bunch of attacks faster. You're able to, the whole stealing gives you initiative, so it's that whole thing gives you a lot of initiative stuff going on. And you see the seal recharge, but I mean still I think it takes like it's a 30-second cooldown I believe, or something close to that. So I mean taking like 15% off that still makes it like I don't know what that is, like 20 or like a 48-second cooldown or something. But I know some people put on there because the long reach that does help out a little bit if you want to get that extra jump on people because the still range is 900, and if you want to steal from people you have to be like within that range. It's not gonna be like one of those spells where you click and it says out of range. If you're not close enough and you hit that spell, it will take up that spell, just use it, but you won't go anywhere, and then you basically wasted it. If you add that in there, it just makes it so that when you're chasing someone down, you can actually steal and like catch up to them and be like right up behind them. This gives you the extra jump on them. I know some people also go with that thrill of the crime just because they end up they they want to steal because normally when you go to attack, the whole chain of attacks that they do is the whole steal, and then if you're the double dagger like me, you'll want to hit 5 to do that cloak and dagger, and then 1 as fast as you can so you can backstab them. And so it's all through those buttons real fast. So you're stealing right before it, so giving you that extra 20% chance of a crit um, on that backstab is good. But I mean, you don't need it if you already have hidden killer. And I think that's like all the ones that people really use. I know some people, if they want to play that hard to catch one thief, they'll toss this out just because of the crippling stuff. But that's basically all that. I forget if I pointed out that I had like the thief runes on. I know some people go with strength runes. I've seen that a lot just because the extra might chances and stuff and gives you a whole bunch of extra power to be able to hit, do a good bit of damage. But those runes give you like 5% more attack power if you are attack or if you have those conditions on you like might and stuff. And I prefer the whole 10% extra damage if you're attacking from side behind because I mean I'm going to be running about and I'm planning on doing like backstabs and stuff. So I mean I might as well have the extra 10% damage since I've already counted on backstabs to do a good bit. But so that is my Thief's build right now. Now they have going to the place I go to farm a little bit. They have the tier 6 stuff. I don't think a lot of people will really know much about the whole when they go into the world versus world. People are thinking that it's just like a whole bunch of people just fighting each other and oh, it's all about capturing stuff. But there's sometimes when you kind of have like you're kind of on the defense stuff like that. There's not much to do right now. It's not really one of those moments. I mean, you'd see there's no commander on the map, but I don't have that outman buff, so that means that there are people here, kind of thing. But what I normally would have done was I go to my borderlands just because you simply run straight out the top, and you can see you just run out to this back corner, and some people probably know about the skill point if they're doing map completion. They have the script there, and what happens is when you go along, you can go along here, or you could took the path down. But they have these cave spiders over here, and most of the time people are just kind of like dodging through and try to get to that skill point as fast as they can. What they don't really know is like these spiders and stuff like that, since they are up in like this the level 80 area thing, they would be like as if you went to farm things from the level 80 areas, what was like cursed shores and stuff like that. And so these things actually will drop tier 6 items. So I mean, you can see I just killed 6 things. Within those 6 things I killed, I got 2 potent venom sacks and a powerful venom sack, and the basically little trophy things that are useless that you could sell them. But I mean, the rate of getting these is pretty decent. You notice that I just have 125 magic fine. So what you could do is, if you have been to your Borderlands and you've done the whole script thing over there, you'll know that they'll have these little tasks where it's kill 30 of them, and it's called like exterminate or something. You kill 30 of them, then like a veteran one will show up. You kill that one too. Well, you could jump between these spiders and them, and you just kind of go off and switch in between them. The spiders will be dropping, like I showed, the venom sacks. If you've never really gone against this script before, then they have or if you've never gone against them before, it's basically pretty simple stuff. There's some parts where they're packed together, some parts they're not. Right now I'm just going to use the short bow so I could go off and get some more bloodlust. I can actually do more damage. Okay, he didn't drop anything. Well, they'll start dropping stuff in a little bit, but you'll start noticing that these guys will drop there's several different things they'll drop, and one of the things is they have those armored scales, or whatever, the tier 6 of those armored scale things, or whatever it's called. And they also drop ancient bones. They'll drop large bones and large scales, and they also drop like the secret loot bags or something. And those things like are very nice and stuff because of the one crap, I hate the gear loggers. Okay, so yeah, heavy bag of secret shinies. This thing it just kind of drops random things. I got a carrot. This is the first time I got a carrot from one of those loot bags. Those loot bags also, if you don't feel like opening them, if I do remember correctly, I probably should have checked this before doing recording, but I think that the loot bag was one of like the highest selling like of the bags, like from heavy loot bag to like moldy bag and all that stuff. If I remember correctly, that loot bag actually sells for a little bit more. I think like the moldy loot bags and all that stuff sell for something like 6 silver or something. I think those, for some reason I want to say like 8 silver or something. Hoping one of these guys drops a scout. Okay, yeah, armored scout right there. So you see the drop of scouts, I thought that was kind of weird stuff. They actually had if you go to like the one Guild Wars like Wikipedia thing, they'll actually tell you that they drop like powerful blood. I've never got powerful blood from them though. But yeah, so I guess someone's already been here farming them. So you see, the veteran will show up over there, kill this guy first, because he'll start making that one collapsing thing. That's annoying to deal with. But yeah, to get that veteran guy, and this is all you do. You just kind of go through here. Once you beat that, you also see that you get like experience and all that stuff. These guys are annoying the foragers because of the damage you do. Good thing is though, they just kind of follow you around, and if you're a thief, you just start dropping cluster bombs and you run around. I got a large one off that. Still from him, and might as well go ahead and heal up. If I was like backstab and stuff, this stuff goes much faster, especially once I have it fully set up. Um, the thing is, that you could also just run and drop these bombs, and you'll actually stay out of the reach while doing all that damage. You see thousands of damage. So yeah, you can see this is basically you just go through. You go through here, you farm them up. You could all start respawning again, and probably should have tried to heal it up before I went into there. Okay, but okay, with blue, yeah, it's those stupid skulls. The skulls kind of get annoying and fill up your inventory. So yeah, there's an ancient bone there. You see, if they don't really respawn, because I know sometimes it takes them a little bit to respawn, and if they don't respawn right away, like the whole I know the 30 to kill 30 out of 30 thing doesn't show up for a couple minutes. So what you could do is you could just come right back up here to the cave spiders, and you start shooting these guys again. And these guys are much easier to kill because they have to stop for that whole spinning venom thing. And you just kind of go through here, and even if you just get that one, even if you get those plain little like potent venom sacks, those aren't that bad either because those sell for like 3 silver on the trade post. And if I know when I do sit here for, I was only on here for like maybe 30 minutes for the other video, and I end up getting something like I think it was like 20, 30, maybe 40 of the venom sack things, or not 30, not 40, but I mean like 20 to 30 kind of thing after like 30 minutes of farming. Because I mean, if you go to the groups up there where they're all close together, you could be killing multiple of them every shot kind of thing. But so yeah, this is basically where I farm at. If you have nothing really going on, like I suggest that you don't really do this if there's like a commander on the map, because I mean commanders are there to try to get everybody together to fight. It's also better if you have that outman buff. It's also a good time because that gives you extra, I think 20% magic find or something. So you go ahead and do that. Um, so yeah, that's that whole farming thing. Some other places though that you can do farming at. Because I know different things drop different items. So on Borderlands, um, they have the Tari guys over here. Those guys drop supply bags. I forget what exactly items you can get from that. You could go on the wiki and look up, and they'll have like some. You could click on some link and it'll tell you like the chances of getting these different items. When you go back down this way, if you've run behind here, you'll know that there's these one like skelt or something like that. Or some kind of like little lizard guys that are invisible and they'll start attacking you. If you kill those guys, they drop that potent blood, and sometimes they'll drop powerful blood. Over here they got the Drake. Those guys drop bloods. If you are, if your spawn point is like the border thing here, this is also a good place to go on to. So whoever borderland your spawn's right here, so your closest camp is the water camp thing over here. There's a whole bunch of fireflies along here, and sometimes I will go to the borderlands where I'm over here, just so I go up along this area. And what I do is why I upgrade to camp, I'm farming the one fireflies because those guys drop the potent blood and powerful blood. I know there's spiders in there, so they'll drop venom. Over here's another Drake in the water and the warg up there. I think Drake once again drops like blood, I think, and the warg, I'm not sure about them. I want to say they drop like the fangs, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. Trying to think what else. I know that there's like you could come across like the worms and stuff like that, the ice worms back along here. I'm not sure what exactly they drop. They are like an insect, I think, so they drop the venoms again. They also have, if you're in internal battlegrounds, one of the things you could also do is if like you're like walking yaks between Glanta and the Culven, or if you are guard duty here, there are a bunch of mosquitoes out here and the scale guys, so you could go through and hunt, like farm those guys to get the venom and powerful blood again. There's the crate back here. Crate drop scales, I believe. Let's see. They got dredge up here, which they'll drop like those mining loot bags, and so you could get those loot bags. Will drop like random things. If you are on guard over here at the ping, I know that the caravans will be attacked by cave bats, and those guys will drop powerful blood from time to time. The ogres up here, if you fight those guys, or if you help them out, stuff like, I know if you attack them stuff, they will drop sometimes those treat bags, and those have like items in it, but I think those are more food items. I know there's Drake down in that water there. And there's like more mosquitoes out along the swamp area over here. Or, yeah, mosquito, fireflies, stuff like that kind of thing. Let's see. There's like bears and stuff along here, and I know there's harpies up there. I think those two drop blood. I know there's the one elemental guys are here, earth elemental, and those guys you could farm, but I wouldn't suggest it that much because the only thing they really seem to drop is the crafting material, like the emerald shards and emerald crystals, and those things like they don't sell that well on the trade post. I think you can't even sell them because people are asking for like 1 copper for it, and that's below the sell price of merchants. And they also drop like a whole bunch of pebbles. I think there's scale down in that water here, so you try to get some blood from them. But that's basically some of the farming places. And you can see that area is back up. I'm trying to remember if I can think of any other farming places. I know there's like some like Drake within this area over here. They could try to go, but I think there's just a couple of them over here. There's a couple of spiders over there. There's some bears over there. I remember that, polar bears. But I think that about adds up like all the different places that you could really farm around at. Um, they have right now on the trade post the stuff like of this time when like these powerful venom sacks. Those I think people were like buying them and stuff for like 30 silver. I think the armored scales were going for like 42 silver, and the ancient bones were around 40s too. So I mean their prices are kind of I don't know, the farming here kind of thing. You're not making a whole bunch of money, but I mean, I need to get the outman buff, so let's go help out a little bit. Yeah, it's 20 magic fine, but you see, you're gonna make like hundreds and hundreds of gold. But it's just one of those things when you're running around. I think that person's coming to attack me or something. Let's let them leave. I'm pretty sure they thought I was AFK and they're coming to attack me. But, but you don't make a whole bunch of money off of everything. I mean, if you sit there and you farm for a little bit, you're gonna make some. I think that uh, those venom sacks, like yesterday's video, within that like 30 minutes, I think I got 8 or so venom, the powerful venom sacks, and so I sold them all, and I made almost 3 gold off of it. So I mean, it's not that bad. I just know that the most expensive um, tier 6 crafting material thing was that powerful blood, and that was selling for like 62 what was it, 62 silver. So you might want to, if you go farming, you might want to try along here. But I mean, those drops are kind of more rare, or at least for me, I have trouble getting those. But I mean, even if you don't, you could always go with the whole crafting the Mystic Forge of grabbing 50 of one of the tier 5 items and one of the tier 6 items. And I think it takes like one Mystic Binding Agent, which you get from the one Laurel's Agent, guys. Or you could go and buy the one, the Align Wine thing for like 25 silver, I think, from those guys. And then I think it's also like one crystal or something like that. Maybe it's more, but you just combine them all in there, and I forget how many of these you get. I know another one way I got a whole bunch of these items was when you're making a legendary. You need Mystic Clovers. Mystic Clovers, it takes, what was the way I used it was the one where I had like 10 ecto, 10 Mystic coins, 10 crystals, and 10 Obsidian shards, and I added all those in, and I would be getting stuff like 30 of these. I'd get like a stack of like 30 of these different crafting things, so I got a whole bunch from that. So I mean, that's another way you could try, but when you do that, you're always kind of having a chance of getting like the Glossom stuff, like, and other tier 6 items, and sometimes you'll even get things like Mystic Clovers, which those are account bound, so I mean, if you're not going for legendary, then you probably don't want to try that. But yeah, so that's basically like some of my farming areas that you guys can go ahead and try out and stuff. I guess I'll go ahead and end the video stuff, so if you enjoy it, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate if you did stuff. It'll help me get some more subscribers. Also, if you do go off and you go try these like farming areas, um, you guys can go ahead and feel free to like leave in like the comments about how many of them you killed and like how much loot and stuff you're getting from them, how well you think those areas are working out for you. So they have like one of the reasons I go to this back area just because you see I could get 3 different tier 6 crafting materials just in this little section. But I know sometimes it's nicer to be in one of the areas where there's a whole bunch of stuff for that powerful venom sack, just because you get a whole bunch of those and sell them all and grab over tier 6 stuff. But anyways, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. Also, leave a comment about like if you want to see any other videos, stuff like that, about farming areas that I know about, or if you want to see like map roaming on things like my warrior. I could go ahead and do map roaming on warrior, but my build setup for him is like a shout warrior, so he's really tanky. He doesn't do that much damage, so when it comes to like fighting other guys, it's like a 10-minute battle of me healing up constantly and they're healing up constantly, and no one really wins. So, and then if I go roaming with thief, like I showed, this guy's like a glass thief build. He gets hit, and he gets hit really hard, and he'll die quite fast if I don't get myself out of situations. That's why I have to have this step at number 7, because 7's easier to reach than the 8, 9, or I guess 8 and 9's only other ones you get switching around with. But anyway, so that's gonna be all for this video, and I think I'm actually gonna try doing a little map roaming video next. I just have to see what the conditions are, because this is reset day, so no one's taking anything serious. It's just everybody's messing around today, so it might be a good day to do that. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.